people are starting to say God save the king, but I don't think there's too much point doing that because God definitely didn't save the queen.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hello, friends, and hello, foe, and welcome to this to the Comedianons podcast. My name is Josh, and joining me today, he's a man who fell into a fermented pit of kombucha and turned out to be a superhero called Kombucha King. It's Jono.
Kombucha man. I
King.
prefer, I don't want to take any steam away from King Charles,
I mean, who knows?
the royal kombucha family.
I mean, should we say at the top of this podcast?
Yes.
We only recognize one king.
We only recognize one king, and that's
he's
King
the guy. He's the man that was on last year's podcast.
Last week's podcast, an absolute ripper of an episode, by the way.
Sure.
One of my personal favorites.
You know what else is going to happen?
What's going to happen?
This episode.
And I went to a Daffodil Festival.
Went to a Daffodil Festival.
I've done some weird stuff lately. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, after I went to the Daffodil Festival, what did you do?
I went to the doctor.
You went to the doctor.
What's up, doc?
What's up, doc?
It's a segment that's going to come up. I don't have anything with it, but it's going to be pretty good.
Oh, fantastic! I tell you what else is pretty good.
What else is pretty good?
I had a work do last night.
Oh,
this has been Josh and I. We've been anticipating this for a long time.
I've been so excited to hear about this.
It was as good as we dreamed of. It's as good as we dreamed of.
And finally, Jono, I don't remember what my last segment was.
I didn't remember either. Hero or asshole?
Oh, right, yeah. It's hero or asshole. I need you to tell me because I'm not sure. Honestly, I wouldn't be sure.
The jury's out.
The jury's out, for sure.
And with that, the jury goes in to the next slide. Old people like flowers.
Old people like flowers.
It just seems to be a thing across the board.
Do you reckon I guess we get straight into the Daffodil Festival, but I've got a first question.
Yes.
The mean average age of people there, above 50?
Well, this is the problem, and we'll get into that because I can't answer that question.
Oh, no.
And you'll find out why.
Really?
Yeah, you'll find out why.
So,
because
when did you try to go?
This was Father's Day.
Father's Day.
Took the old cheese, the old man, CJ. CJ Steele.
Was he excited for it? Is that something he wanted to do?
I think he was just stressed because he's like me, and whenever there's arrangements, it's like, oh no, when are we going to be there, or whatever.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But it's one of those things. It's like Daffodil Festival. Yep. That sounds like a good thing.
Yep.
It was up in Kyneton. So the Kyneton Daffodil Festival is on
famous
during
for
the week
spring water as well.
of Kyneton Springs. It's on during Father's Day.
Father's Day.
So that's when we took him up. And I started realizing kind of early on to said festival that it's not really a festival.
Oh, no, you've been stitched up.
My first red flag was, Mum had like this brochure thing, and it's like typical of like a country town festival. Like you print off this PDF, and they're like, the Kyneton spring, first day of spring Daffodil Festival, getting all excited. And then you've got that map with number 1, number 8, and you go, number 13, Judy's craft stall, where's that? Oh, it's on Main Street. Oh, lovely.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Very expensive. It's like, you want to go to the Botanic Gardens that are normally free? $20 donation to get in.
Wow.
You want to go to the where all the craft people are?
It's got to be a tour. It's the biggest tourist trap I've ever heard of.
Huge tourist trap. But
you could see it as a tourist trap or just get money for the town.
I think it's like get money for the town from people who live in the town. I think that's what it is. Keep the money in the economy.
Not a lot of people are taking their dads up for Father's Day.
No, definitely in the minority. But Mum she'd printed off this thing off the brochure, and she'd decided that we're going to go to, it was kind of like this farm, Daffodil Farm or something it was called. And I'm like, okay, cool, sounds good, whatever. Put the address into the GPS.
Sure.
The red flag was it wasn't like Bert's Farm or whatever. It was just like 123 Rural Road, Ruralton, right?
Ooh, okay.
That's what it was. And I'm like, this is a bit strange. Drive along on the highway for about, I don't know, probably like an hour and 15 minutes or whatever.
Okay.
So we're in the thick of the shit, right? We're up in the middle of nowhere.
Have you got tunes popping off?
Oh, mate, I was listening to sad music because it was a rainy day. I was in the field.
Were you driving by yourself?
I was driving by myself.
And you were meeting them right?
I've learned that about family functions. Go separately.
Go separately. You can leave early.
you can just slip out the back door.
For sure.
So I was driving up, and then I'm like, GPS is, we're saying we've arrived, but we're just literally on a highway with like some residential houses that were going past. And then I see, boom, I go past, flying past me that I've overshot. There's like a flag. I'm like, I bet that was it.
The flag.
I bet that's where I'm meant to go. So I'm like,
is this
shit.
to get to the actual festival itself?
Yeah,
right?
this is the first place we're going, like some
okay.
farm, whatever it was.
Righto.
That we're going to meet at.
This is bad.
It's gone past. I'm like, shit, that was in like some just random person's house.
Yeah.
It's a while until I can turn around, but I'm like, oh, there's no one there. It's like 100 road, but I'll just quickly do a UE.
Do a zip?
Do a UE.
Zip around?
And I was too worried about doing it quickly in case a big truck came. I didn't really check how solid the ground was on the other side.
Oh, no.
So as soon as I've pulled off, in my head, the warning bells are going off. Like, Dad told me, never turn around on an area that you haven't tested the ground on before. Because you know the side of freeways and highways, it kind of goes into a bit of a ditch.
They often will be very slanted off into a ditch.
They're slanted into a ditch.
Or very muddy or...
And as I said before, bit of foreshadowing, it was raining. So the ground was very, very, very soft. And I've poured off into this straight away, start sliding. I'm sinking into the mud and I'm sliding down the hill and I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm just absolutely flooring the car and it's just...
Oh, jeez.
We're not going anywhere.
Holy shit.
All my windows, side windows, just caked in mud from just flipping.
Christ.
Honestly, I reckon I'm doing this for like over a minute. It feels like 25 minutes.
Oh, God.
I'm making like 1 centimeter every 10 seconds progress.
Right.
I'm like, I'm just not getting my foot off the pedal. I'm just absolutely flooring it. I don't know how to get out of a ditch, out of a bog, but I'm like, I do not want to be bogged.
They don't teach you that at school.
Father's Day. No, I know my car does have a hook on the front because obviously Hyundai drivers get bogged a lot.
I mean, speak of...
Exactly. I'll never do that again. But yeah, literally pedal to the metal and slowly, the corner of one wheel got back onto the ground.
Right.
And like turn the wheel. The problem was we got out, whatever, but I got back. It was very obvious that I'd been bogged because one whole side of the car just caked in mud.
Jeez.
So it was a quick car wash job on the way back. But anyway, turned around, went back, went to where the flag was.
Right.
Literally somebody's house.
Oh,
right?
God.
I reckon they racked it from an auction, to be honest.
Oh,
it just said like open home or whatever. So then I drive in and I realize this is like Richie Rich house. It's like some big rich person has like allowed the festival.
Or something?
Yeah, like an estate type thing.
So was it like gardens and stuff?
It was, think of it just like a normal house, but on a couple of acres.
All right. Okay.
They had like horses and stuff.
Jeez.
I drive in and it's like white gravel driveway.
Oh my God.
Rose bushes.
At this point, have you noticed whether your parents have popped in yet?
I seen no one yet.
Okay.
I drive around the corner and there's some old lady whose name was actually Doris. And Doris was just standing in the middle of the driveway and I see her and at this point panic is setting in because I'm like, I've seen no other cars.
Can you imagine
into someone's house?
Can you imagine Doris just minding her own business and this car comes in
covered in mud,
covered one side,
green people.
She's just like, Jesus Christ, what's going on here?
So I do that thing where you wind down your window as if to go like, if you've got information, I'm willing to accept it. So I wind it down and she comes over to me. Never met this woman in my life. She goes, you must be Johnny. I'm like, I mean, I could be Johnny, I guess. Turns out just around the corner or whatever, my brother, his wife, and one of my other sisters were there, and they must have been like, oh, that'll be Johnny coming in or whatever.
All right.
So I'm like, how the fuck does she know who I am?
That's a bit spooky.
Once I saw them,
when Doris knows your name, it can't be.
That was scary.
Good.
Once I saw them, all was good or whatever. But I want to do some highlights of Doris's farm, right?
This is Doris's place.
This is Doris's farm. I can't remember what the point of the. I think it was a daffodil farm. Didn't see a single daffodil on this whole property, by the way.
What's the point of the Daffodil Festival? Okay, continue.
Mate, the question, the plot thickens.
All right.
But the highlights of her farm, right? Mm-hmm. Alpacas, but I couldn't see them because she's like, oh yeah, they're in the back paddock. I'm like, oh, so are we allowed to go and see them? She's like, oh no, I don't want you walking through the paddock. Then why you put them on the attraction list? That was number one on the list. The second one was the pond.
The pond.
It didn't have any water in it.
I was about to say
all random shit. You know when you go to the nursery
and
you see that stuff that they sell for way too much money, you go, who buys it?
Right.
Doris.
Doris. So we're talking like gnomes and stuff.
Yeah, gnomes. Like iron roosters.
Iron roosters.
Like
yes,
there's concrete gum boots.
Shroom.
Yeah, the coloured shrooms.
Shroom caps.
All of them.
Oh
just
my god.
In a pond or whatever.
Red caps.
But
that's what they
the
are.
piece to resistance, she comes
Piece de
over because
resistance.
we've got some kids. My siblings have like young kids.
Yeah.
Uncle Johnny over here, mate.
Uncle Johnny.
She goes, "Have you guys seen Doug?" And
Doug.
we're like, "Oh no, haven't
At
seen,
this point,
haven't seen Doug."
Is Doug's either her husband,
Yeah.
or the dog,
Or a dog. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, it's a dog. And she's like, if you go down that, she kind of had like trees. She's like, if you go down kind of behind those trees into this ditch, you'll find Doug.
This is a
And
suspicious
I'm like,
thing
this
to
is a
say.
setup, but she's saying it to kids, so it's probably going to be something like nice or funny. Who knows?
Right,
I'm
yeah,
thinking
for
it's
sure.
a dog or something. We go down the hill.
It's an axe murderer.
Very close.
Oh no!
There's like an old-fashioned outdoor like drop toilet,
God.
outdoor loo type
Right,
deal,
okay.
right? And it says "open" on it, like "open me," and we're like, "Oh, okay." Like we'll get the kids to open it, so we get like little Oscar, who's like 1.5 years old, right? Goes up to the door, and we're like, "Oh, open it." Who knows what's going to be? There's
Yeah.
going to be something nice for the kids. Opens it. A skeleton falls out.
Jesus
An old skeleton falls
Oh
out
my
of this
God.
loo. Very funny joke.
Very funny
Doug's
joke.
been on the loo for so long. Poor Oscar, fucking traumatized for life.
Oh my god!
That's coming out in
that
therapy
kid's gonna
in
turn
20
into
years.
Batman. that kid's gonna come back in 20 years and be like,
That's true. All
Doris.
like suppressed memories are just gonna come out. Yeah, literally, I told Doris on the way out, I'm like, you'll be paying for his therapy when he turns 25. But we decided to leave Doris's house after that.
Righto.
And the one other attraction we wanted to see at the Kyneton Daffodil Festival was, I think, the whole reason we wanted to go there in the first place.
Daffodils.
The Golden Mile of Daffodils.
oh,
What I'm thinking, and I want to see if you would think the same thing.
okay.
You know, like a canola field, where it's just like, yeah, or like sunflowers or something like that.
I'm thinking like Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, that's
Yellow
right.
Brick Road.
Big field full of sunflowers.
full of yellow flowers.
That's
for
right.
sure.
I'm
100%.
thinking. I know daffodils are pretty short.
Can I guess what
Yeah.
what I'm hoping it actually is?
Yeah.
5 pot plants.
Yeah, dead set what it is. She's like, you need to go to like what's his face road. It's literally on like this out the
You
back
need to go
of
up
these
there,
factories.
go to
Yeah.
Jim.
Yeah.
Jim, turn right at Jim's.
That's right. You need to go past the factory. Now, I haven't been there myself, but I heard it's beautiful. I'm like, oh, this can't be good. Literally, we go past it, and then I'm following mum and dad. They pull over, and then I'm like, oh, like, where is it? Is it like up ahead? She's like, no, that was it. It was outside the public toilet at the park. There was one of those like planter boxes, like metal planter boxes. Literally, like, wouldn't have even been 100 daffodils or
That's
whatever.
very
they are.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, you got absolutely stuffed up.
Yeah.
Did you pay any money for that festival?
We paid like $5 each to get into Doris's house.
And about $100,000 for that 1-year-old kid's therapy.
Yeah, therapy, and then another 50 grand to get my car towed.
Hey, Jono, can I ask you one further question?
Is it time for the next slide?
I was going to ask you if it was worth it.
No, no.
Do you know what might be worth it?
Yes.
Go to the next slide.
The next slide.
Jono?
Yes.
I don't know if anyone heard in last episode. It was a bit hard to tell, but I had a bit of a throaty boy thing.
Yeah, I've had a throaty
I've
boy.
been up and down the last few weeks.
You have. You haven't been
no good.
firing on all cylinders, as
I
the
feel
old folk
pretty
would
good
say.
right now.
Yeah.
But
You've come back from the dead in the last like 12 hours.
12
I reckon.
hours.
Yeah.
That's about right. But you know what? I went to the doctor this morning.
Always an interesting experience.
Always an interesting experience, and may I just say,
Yeah.
frustrating as hell.
Inefficient.
Here's the thing I've
That's what
noticed.
doctors
When you're
are.
a kid,
Yeah.
doctors' visits seem like magic.
Yeah, they do. They
Because you
do.
turn up, they go whoop, 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 and
Yeah.
then you get it. I was having really bad mic skills there just a second.
Yeah,
there.
that was very bad. I just watched Josh put his hand in front of the microphone and start talking.
and it sounded really bad.
Yeah.
actively
It's
ridiculous.
okay. We're learning.
Oh, it's only been.
We haven't
40
done. We've done it for a year.
Oh, really? But
What I remember from kids, my favorite thing about the doctor was the water machine, and you get the little dinky cup, and you get to fill it up from the water cooler.
Slipping through my fingers, to be honest.
Yeah.
It really should be. But
Who thought we'd be reminiscing about the doctor?
Yeah, that and the jelly beans that you get.
Oh, that's
the glucose
great.
jelly
yeah,
beans.
glucose jelly beans from the pharmacy.
They're the best jelly beans.
You got a packet at the beginning of this year, and we realised you can't really get through a big packet of jelly
but I tell you
beans.
what,
Yeah.
they're really good.
Yeah, they're
the
not.
best
It's the
jelly
best
beans.
brand.
Best
The
brand
ones,
of jelly beans.
the medicinal ones for diabetics are the best jelly
If
beans you can get. Yeah.
I tell you hilariously, because like when I went home the other day.
Yeah.
And I was
home.
I was doing
Home is here.
back to the rents the other day.
Yeah.
And I was doing some study for a test thing that I was taking.
Yep.
And my mum came in. She's like, "Do you want a jelly bean?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take a jelly bean."
Of course. The only answer is yes.
The only answer is
Yeah.
yes. But it was like this weird like Starburst jelly.
Oh,
bean.
I've had them.
And we both had them.
No.
And my mum hadn't had them. She's
It's
like,
not
"Oh, yeah, I
even
just
like
picked them on the shop."
jelly-ish.
Had them, and we both looked at each other and said, "They're not that good."
Allan's
and I
as
said,
well.
"Do you know what's better?" She said, "The ones
The
from
glucose ones.
Glucose one." I said, "Yeah,
Yeah.
But I went to the doctors. Didn't get the
Yep.
jelly beans. I think I passed on them today.
Yeah.
But went to this doctor. I wasn't sure if I had been to this doctor before.
Okay. Yep.
Turns out, after going to this, I turned up at the doctor at the medical center.
Yeah.
Walked in. First thing, this is the thing. When you're working 9 to 5,
Yeah. Oh,
going to the
my
doctor is a
God.
pain in the fucking
It's the
neck.
fucking hardest
It's
thing
so
ever.
annoying
Because they're open like literally half an hour on either side of like 9 to 5. You have
when
to
do
go
you do?
during
You either
working.
have to go right
You have to
at the
take
end
time off work.
or right before
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
It's a pain in the neck.
And that's if you're working from home. You have the luxury
sure.
of being able to do that. If
And
you're
how do you do it
commuting,
if you're
no chance. No
way.
chance.
Imagine if you had to go. How would you do that?
I've
You just can't.
literally needed to go for a month to get a subscription and I haven't gone. A subscription? That's not what they're called.
No, not a subscription.
What are they called? You know what I'm
It's the thing
talking
from
about though?
Netflix.
The prescription.
Prescription. A subscription, a prescription.
That'd actually be a better model. Rather than having to go back and renew,
There are people that
it's
do
an
stuff like
opt-out
that
model.
where like they have like things they have to take. They get those little like pill takers. It's
Yeah.
like Monday you have these pills.
yeah,
Tuesday.
yeah.
Yeah, but turned up at the medical center.
Yep.
Turned up at the medical center.
Yep.
Went up to the and you do that thing where I'm panicking.
It's so awkward
How do you never
It's
know?
so
Every
awkward.
single medical
because they don't look at you
They
either.
sometimes will make you pay beforehand. Sometimes they'll pay after.
That's the
You
most
never know.
stressful thing.
I'm standing there going, "Oh no!" Anyway, turns out I had to do this weird and there's the rebate if
Yeah, the
because,
the Medicare
if you're
rebate.
in Australia, where
Yeah.
you fucking get rebate.
Yeah, when you get like most of it back.
Yeah, most of it back. But they didn't even automatically process the rebate. I have to go manually process the
Yeah.
rebate. I've never done that before.
I did it once and
That's
I did
weird.
I felt like I was just freeballing it.
Yeah,
I had no idea what was
being,
going
it was
on.
all crazy.
Yeah.
On top of this,
Yep.
turns out the person's like, "Huh, you actually have been here before." I'm like, "Really?
Oh.
15 years ago."
It's crazy they still
That
have
is so
that.
nuts.
Yeah.
They had to they were taking stuff out of archive to
Was
add
it
to my
actually
new-
like in a folder? Like
Yeah.
a physical
They
folder?
had- No, it was out of archive
Oh,
in
wow.
like medical documents.
Wow,
That had
yeah.
been turned electronic.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
that specific medical center.
Yeah.
And you'll never believe it. The person I had gone to see ended up being the person who I saw 15 years ago.
The same doctor.
The same doctor.
How old were they?
Oh, old.
Yeah. Doctors are old.
So old.
I guess if you're
I've never
making
seen a
a
doctor-
shitload of money
Yeah.
for sitting on your ass,
I've
I'm gonna make a lot of
I've never
people
seen
unhappy.
a lot of doctors under 60.
I also think people don't trust young doctors.
I don't mind young doctors.
I like young doctors because
and
I feel
have
more
had
comfortable
young
with
doctors
them
recently.
Yeah.
But anyway, went to the doctor. I had to take my shirt off, and
Yeah.
that's always the awkward
Yeah.
bit.
Did you get a round of applause?
Oh, do you want Oh, sorry. I'm hearing something from the audience.
Yay! Let's go.
Thank you for doing that a bit late.
That was all the nurses. Yeah.
Yeah,
in the
for sure.
corridor. All the
No,
customers
I was
in the
walking
waiting
down the
room.
corridor, and all I
Yeah.
heard was,
Yeah.
and I added sound effects to
Yeah,
the board
he's
this
very
time.
proud of it.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
So what
this is now a
happened?
radio show. Anyway, went to the doctors, had to go. And here's the thing: it's two parts to this, right? The first part was it's just always awkward going to the doctors as an adult.
Yeah.
Because suddenly you don't have like you usually go with. I think when you're
a kid, you go with your parents. Yeah.
When you're with
And
your kids,
when
suddenly
the
you have
doctor
to,
says what's wrong, and you ask mum to tell them what's wrong.
and you're sitting there, and I'm sitting there, and I'm sort of frozen. You're like,
Yeah.
And then and then literally in 2 minutes, I spit out like 500 words. I go, this and this and this and this and this. And then last week was it. And then I need a doctor's certificate for this. But then I did this and then this and this. And I go, and I just hear, okay, I can't do this part of that.
Yeah,
I can do this. And I go, yeah.
You don't even really hear what they say. Yeah.
And the thing is, I wasn't really sure if, sometimes like I'm like, when you go to the doctors, if you ever work full time, you need a doctor's certificate when you get sick for long periods of time. But what that means is often that when that happens, is you'll find that I think that you end up like, I'm always worried that they think I'm bullshitting them.
Yeah. There's a service that's literally called What's Up Doc, where you can literally lodge a request for a medical certificate online.
I have seen that.
Yeah, that literally feels like a sham.
And I looked at that and I was,
what employer would accept
and
that?
And this is what I mean, right? Like I'm here and it was in the peak of me feeling sick and I'm going, I can go into this website and pay this much money, way more than if I went to the doctors to get this certificate.
I think it
sounded so weird.
No, I think it's a very untrustworthy thing.
It seems weird. I didn't feel right.
If you did that and then a couple of months later, your employee looks at your record and
it seems weird. Now then again, I go to get this doctor and they print it out and it's literally like a piece of blank A4 paper.
Oh yeah,
and it's like in font that you could easily replicate,
literally,
and a signature.
When I had the one for my eye, no signature. It literally just said Jonathan Steele will need days from X date to X date off from medical purposes, and then it just says from whatever, no signature or whatever. Yeah,
that's just weird.
Yeah, you could easily replicate
how does the medical? I mean, this is getting into like preaching thing about medical systems. But seriously, it just blew my mind to be part of this.
I think it's just one of those things like if your employer just kind of has to trust you, and then if you're a shitty employee and you also have a lot of shitty medical certificates, and they start putting two and two together.
Anyway, final thing is I was panicking the way back. I had to get back, so I Ubered my way back.
Yep.
I'm standing here on a crossroad. This is like almost like an Uber story second part of this. I'm sitting at a crossroads. We're sitting, if you at the end, on the end of Sydney Road, basically where the 7-Eleven is and where the Carlton Stadium is.
Sure.
Yep. People who know, people will know.
Yep.
But around there, basically, there's an obvious medical center. That's where. Anyway, we're sitting around there. And so this is the case where I'm sitting on one side of a T intersection.
Right.
Where there's cars going this way and there's cars going crossing, right?
Yep.
I'm standing where there would be a bus stop.
Okay.
Because I feel like around there is a fine place to wait because that's where cars probably pull up all the time.
There's room to pull in.
Anyway, I'm waiting there and I see my Uber get set up.
Yep.
And I'm waiting. The car's not moving. It's so close to me. I'm going, this doesn't make sense.
Like on the map, the car's not moving?
It's facing the way it should be to be able to go right in front of me.
Yep.
To go right in front of me. But at the same time, the car is also like literally right close to me, but it hasn't moved.
Have you seen it in person or on the map?
I'm seeing it on the map.
On the map,
and I'm walking around, looking around. And then suddenly I hear a beep, beep, beep. And I hear, that's got to be me.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be.
I must look like an idiot right now.
Yeah.
This piece of...
Is it like right behind you?
On the other side of me, parked in where the 7-Eleven is.
He's
parked in the 7-Eleven.
He's parked
in the 7-Eleven.
Ubers don't park.
They don't park.
They don't do that.
I'm trying to ask, was I the idiot here?
No, you weren't. Because
that's crazy.
Even if there is parking, like I've had ones outside here, there is parking. They still don't park.
Yeah,
they'll just stick out in the middle of the road or whatever.
Very weird.
That's strange.
All I'm trying to say is this was my lightning story round.
Doctors aren't fun.
Doctors aren't fun, and Ubers are confusing.
Can I say my confusing thing about doctors? Just to end us off. Why is the reception bench so high?
Oh my god! Mine had a sign that said "Don't lean or touch the bench."
Yeah.
And I went to go. I'm like, oof.
Yeah, and I found I hate it at the cafe when people are just leaning on the bench. It's like, fuck off! This is my office.
But I'm just trying to be casual.
Trying to be casual. But
you know what else is casual?
Let's not ever get sick, and then we can go to the next slide.
Sounds like a great idea. Bring.
Hello, this is Jonathan Steele speaking.
Hey, Jonathan.
How may I help you?
You said you're saying that. My name's Josh. You know me. We do a podcast together.
We do a podcast.
We're recording it right now.
Oh, are we?
Oh, I'm just feeling so sad. And I was hoping there was some way.
We've got hand phones going, but why are we doing this? This is purely for our benefit.
I'm just feeling so sad because I don't know how to support my favorite podcast.
I tell you how you can support your favorite podcast. Do you
mean I know-
prefer Spotify or Google Apple Podcasts?
Google Apple Podcasts.
Google, well, what you
I
can
didn't know
do.
they do the same thing.
Guess what? If you go to Google Pods, our Apple Pods, or Spotify,
Yeah.
you can leave a 5-star review for your favorite comedians.
That's right, guys.
Just give
That's
us a rate. Give us a
little
review. We appreciate that.
We appreciate it. I went into the back end on our Apple Pods.
You figure out how to do it?
Yeah.
What's in there? What's in the
Nothing.
back end?
Nothing.
Any reviews?
No.
Because people have told me they're sending in reviews.
Okay, I call bullshit because I'm looking at it. There's no reviews. So
Is
you're
King
lying.
Mike's in there? Because I know
No.
King Mike reviewed.
No review.
Anyway,
Yeah.
next slide.
Next slide.
The moment we have all been waiting
I'm
for,
so excited.
Joshua.
I'm so excited.
This is phenomenal. Now, I reckon the best place to start this story is maybe a month ago.
A month ago, for sure.
Now, I was at work in the office at Maps and Stats Incorporated,
Which is the name.
This is the name of the company. Of this,
No change.
This fictional company that this whole fictional story is about.
Fictionalized persons, fictionalized characters. Nothing's true to
this
life.
This whole segment is scripted. I wrote it. It's a story.
I did some work on it myself.
It's authorized
I
by
actually produced some of the characters.
PXer and Australian government.
For sure.
Canberra.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
all good.
P. Erickson.
But I was at Maps and Stats Incorporated. Just a lovely day.
Yeah,
just
for sure.
another day in paradise, right?
For sure.
And Boss 1, Boss 2, and Boss 3 were all in the boardroom together, having a chat. Right?
Nervous times.
Or even if, when you don't know what's going on, you're like, shit's going down, right?
Shit is.
If 1, 2, and 3 are in a meeting, something's happening. 2 and 3 leave, and number 1 stays at the door, and then he says, Jonathan, and beckons me in. And I was telling you about this.
Yeah.
Scary times.
Scary times.
You know, you start thinking through everything you've done. You go, I know I haven't done anything that's fireable.
Yeah, I don't think I've done anything wrong.
But am I going to get fired for no reason?
Maybe. We never know.
You're like,
You're not sure.
if one day it all comes to an end, fair enough. But I
Yeah.
hope it's not today.
Yeah.
And he sits down and he goes, so I want to do more team bonding exercises. And another backstory to this, one of my clients is a paint and sip company.
Right. You go to this place. They provide you some easels.
They teach you how to do a painting.
And
you have a glass of wine.
You have a glass of wine. Bring
Wonderful.
the wine with you.
Wonderful. Yeah, you BYO wine.
BYO
which is
wine.
wonderful.
Of
Because you get to
course.
choose your own wine.
Of course.
And I was all the big relief. I'm like, we're going to a paint and sip. I'm not getting fired.
Which is exciting.
Life's good. And from that moment on, Josh and I just couldn't wait for the day that the nerds went to paint and sip.
Because I think everyone would know.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to be honest. I do actually just want to go one day.
Oh, that's fantastic. We should definitely go. Definitely.
But for the generalization of the kind of clientele you may find at a paint and sip company.
So I have a friend of mine runs their accounts at
sure.
Maps and Stats Incorporated and might know that the demographic probably female orientated,
female,
maybe slightly older. Yeah.
Your wine mums.
That's just what I'm guessing.
Wine mums. Wine mums,
exactly. And hens parties.
For sure.
That's the kind of demographic.
They're never really expecting for
Maps and 90% male, 100% introvert.
For sure.
So that's who rocked up. But it was great because I just was sort of assuming we were going to be doing this like after work.
For sure.
2:30 we left.
Oh.
It was great. At 2:30.
It's always good when you get to leave a little earlier for these things as well.
It was great. It was a perfect day. We barely did anything in the morning. Then at 2:30 we piled in fake name Damo's ute. We piled in Damo's ute.
Damo knows who he is.
Damo knows who he is. And we headed off to
friend of the podcast, maybe say Damo.
Damo is friend of the comedians.
Friend of the comedians. Prince Damo?
We head off down and we get to the paint and sip experience. Anyway, they have a painting we're going to do palm trees. And they have it on the wall, and the amount of effort that's gone into the display model, I think is too much. Because they've gone like the most intricate, like wonderful artwork, and all of us are just like, there is no way.
Can I say something?
Why are we here? There's no way. Yeah.
Do you reckon they hire people who are actually good at painting?
Yeah. Our instructor, I think she'd done like painting a uni or something.
Really?
She was saying like she turned her spare bedroom into like an art studio and stuff.
Nuts.
So yeah, she was like really good because she was like dealing with our problems while like painting it along at the same time.
I aspire to be that kind of person.
Oh, honestly, it's
100%.
I feel like if I put a lot of effort in, I could get closer to the pin, and it might be something worth doing. But I knew it was going to be awkward as soon as this is very typical of nerds.
Yep, for sure.
She goes, all right, so first step or whatever, you're going to mix these colors in, blah, 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 and then you're going to start doing this. Blah, blah, blah. So everyone is just pure concentration
100%.
mode. Everyone's
Yep,
analytical brain. Let's get this right. Let's get exactly 50% blue, 50% white, mix it in perfectly. It's just dead silence. And it's like the awkward Zoom meeting where it's just quiet for like a minute, but it feels like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But
what do you do in these situations?
what I've realized, this is easier in person. If there's heaps of tension in the air, every single person wants someone to break the tension.
Right.
So you can say
anything,
whatever you want, and it will be funny, right?
For sure.
So I go, now, fake name for my boss. Hit me. What should I call him?
Fred.
I go, I can smell Fred's brain overheating from here. And then everyone does the obligatory, got the party going. What can I say? Got the party going. Had a couple of red wines, couple of white wines, couple of Coca-Colas as well.
Coca-Colas.
Wild party. We had a cheese board. We had a cheese board, some hummus.
Was that brought from?
So you can order catering from there, but we can do this on the cheap. So like our sort of office admin person swung by the fake name Doris, went by the supermarket on the way there, and got some carrot sticks and whatnot.
Lovely.
Anyway, this it's not just because I want an increase in salary. Boss number one, I reckon he won. Like a dead set. He was taking it so seriously that I can understand how he's made it so far in business. He wanted to do everything right, go through every possible option. Do I need to wet my brush? Now, how much darker is this screen than the last screen? And she's like, now just kind of go roughly 10%. Now, is that exactly 10%? Or can we go a little bit more or less?
He's
on
putting that tradie aspect to it. I'm like,
that's right. Get the job done right.
Get the job done right. Yeah. Only one time.
We're not going to fix it up later on.
No.
At one point, she's like, now, the good thing with art, you can go over and you can incorporate your mistakes into it. He's like, no, I'd rather get it right first time. I'm like, I respect that.
He's a paint by numbers kind of person.
Yeah, paint by numbers. That's right. Worst place.
Paint by Excel spreadsheet.
Now, first of all, fictional.
Yeah.
Fictional, very fictional.
Worst
fictional. Place, boss number 2. Anyway, he said himself that his palm trees that he drawn were so stumpy and so straight that he could put a cricket bale on the top and just turn it into a cricket painting.
You know, it's not for everyone. Some people don't want to be there. That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Jeez.
He's flying. He's leaving the country on the weekend. He had other places that he wanted to be.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, I highly recommend Paint and Sip. It's just because they make the paintings easy.
For sure.
Right? You just look. You saw mine. It's pretty good because it's not hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if it doesn't look good, it's not great.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, mate, it was 5 o'clock, and you know what you do when it gets to 5 o'clock? Kick-ons, mate.
Kick-ons
at
pub.
5 o'clock. We want to cross to a brewery. How
brewery.
Fancy is that?
Jesus
absolutely
Christ.
Lovely brewery.
Brewery.
One of them we went to. Beer factories.
A brewery.
We went to a beer factory.
A beer factory.
The problem was
beer factory.
we were literally the only people there the entire time we were there. We left at maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Really?
We were the only people there.
So did you get to walk through where all the vats and stuff were as well? Did you do that?
Yeah, they to get to the bathrooms, you literally went past like the tanks.
I've had places like that before.
It's really, really cool.
Famously on this podcast, do you remember when I had that really shitty carbonara?
Yeah, I do remember. I was at one of those places.
One of those places where they have all these big vats in the back.
It's interesting you bring up food because we notice we're like, I want to know what they got for food or whatever. It's like Vietnamese or whatever. I'm like, wonderful, perfect, that's great,
Right, yeah.
lovely. they had the menus, and then we noticed that the name on the menu was actually for a place down the road.
Right.
So we realized, we're like, oh, maybe you order it and then someone, they just bring it down or whatever. There was a good system. But there was no online ordering or whatever. Anyway, boss man's like, I'll go figure out how to order. He goes to the bar. I look over 5 minutes later. He's like leaning on the side of the bar, holding the landline from the brewery.
Jesus
like
Christ.
the manager's the one who's just gone, oh, mate, you do it yourself. And he's just holding the landline.
I'll get 2 egg noodles.
Yeah, that's
I'll
right.
get a couple of dim sims.
That's right. Of course, I was given the
What do you
job
mean you
of
don't
writing
do
down
dim
everyone's
sims?
order. Yeah, what do you mean you don't do chips? I need some chips. Anyway, the food was lovely, but the final thing I'll say about this,
Yeah,
we had a predicament.
Oh,
so
really?
We're finishing up dinner and everyone's like, I'm going to start making tracks now or whatever. And
Righto.
there's always the breakaway group that goes home or whatever. They go first.
And
then
there's
everyone's just sort of
there's
left.
some people who want to stay
You're
on
like,
a little
we'll
bit.
stay, have another drink or whatever.
For
and
sure.
then I can sense everyone's kind of just like, I don't really want to be here anymore. So I go,
Yeah.
all right, I'm going to go to the bathroom, whatever, stand up, get everyone's like paintings. Everyone starts standing up. And then the band start playing.
The band? There's a band?
There's a jazz band that we didn't even really notice around in like this nook, right?
You're kidding.
Because it's a fancy place. The band is like slightly out of the way. They're not in the main area. So we hadn't noticed them setting up, but there's a band in a band nook.
Well, now you're an asshole if you leave.
That's the problem because there's no one else here.
Right.
It's just us. No one else came in. So we've just done that awkward thing of we hear the double bass starts dropping and we go, and then we just have to sit back down. Problem is, it's a jazz song. Literally 20 minutes. It went for 20 minutes.
Jeez.
And we're like, at what point are they going to stop? Are they just going to be riffing all night? Are they just going to be go? At one point, someone's like, we should buy him a jug. So then they just have to stop and have a beer.
I can only imagine that was Fred.
Fred had extracted himself at this point.
Fred did not want to pass on.
Fred didn't even come to the brewery.
Fred didn't come to the brewery?
He didn't.
You're kidding
Fred
me.
did his painting and left.
Wait, we're talking about which boss?
My Fred.
That's not the okay. What about the number one?
George. George had also
fraught,
left.
This is so fraught with now
fictional. George had also left. Fred and George had also left.
Fred and George, the Weasley brothers.
Brothers. But my final review.
Yep.
Work functions. 10 out of 10.
So, Jono, I need you to back me up here on something.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm your yes man. I'm ready.
For a second, I wasn't sure.
Who are we going to kill? Is it Damo?
Good news is it's someone that's already dead. No, it's not the Queen. Okay. Here's the thing.
First of all, love the Queen. Good on her.
Love the Queen.
Yeah, all right.
We love.
But also for the people who don't love the Queen.
We hate the Queen.
What a dickhead. That covers us.
The people that tell us that we sit on the fence. Oh, we don't sit on the fence.
No, we don't sit on the fence. And the people who say we should be indifferent, I couldn't care either way.
We couldn't care.
Covered. All right.
Okay, we're covered.
I like that. That was easy.
We're not going to get cancelled.
Perfect.
Right?
Beautiful. Love
Fantastic.
it.
Good.
Yep.
You know what's annoying?
When you go to set your alarm in the morning and you set it, but you accidentally set it for PM, not AM.
Oh, that's
annoying.
That's annoying. That's relatable and
then you got to do that scroll wheel thing again.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
The thing that I find specifically annoying is when you get messages from people that aren't you, that aren't people that you know.
I don't often get messages
like
from
those
me.
spam messages.
Yeah, or so
you know,
many
spam messages.
Yeah.
It sometimes happens on WhatsApp.
Oh, right.
But it happened on your text message where you go, hi, Greg.
Yeah.
This thing, and you think it's always a spam message.
Yeah. Because I get a lot from like parcel companies as well, telling me my parcel's there, and I'm like, have I actually ordered something, or are they trying to sell my soul on the dark web?
Your first immediate thought is, do I have a parcel?
It's coming.
But then you read it, you go, that's definitely not mine.
No.
Right. So what I thought I would do is, I've got a couple of examples here because what happened was recently, I got called out.
Yep.
Because what I often do is when I get these dumb messages that come to me, is I'll just start fucking with people.
Oh, nice. So
I've got a couple examples of these.
That's great. Oh, fantastic.
I'm going to go from least to most.
Okay, yeah.
And here's the thing. I'm not
intensity.
Yeah, probably intensity.
Yeah.
But the main thing is I'm not 100% certain whether I'm in the wrong here. by the end of it, okay?
All right. Yep. I'm ready. I'm ready to be your... Do you need me to be unequivocally on your side, or am I a judge?
I think you're a judge, but
I'm a
really
judge.
you're probably on my side.
I'm a biased judge.
Yeah, well, you're welcome to give your actual judgment.
Yep.
Here it is. The first one. Okay, here it goes. This person sent me, hey, hello, are you James the barber? I'm recommended by Anna. Off the bat.
Oh, that's great. You know that's not a spam. I reckon that's someone who's legitimately got the wrong number. I reckon that's what it is on that one. Are you James the barber?
Okay, because I responded with,
fantastic.
oh, I sure am. What's your name?
Oh, this is perfect. Oh, my God.
They responded with, my name's blank.
Yep.
Didn't Anna tell you about me? I said, of course, you wanted the afro, right? What happened? You're not you're not the barber, James. I sure am the barber. Anna told me you wanted the afro. Wait a minute, I'll make a phone call to ask Anna.
This is a legitimate guy. This is not a Nigerian prince. This is a legitimate guy.
No worries. I will ask her. She is my roommate after all. I said. I just confirmed the number with Anna. She gave me the wrong number. I hope you didn't disturb you. Oh. Are you sure? I was told someone was going to text me about a haircut.
That is fantastic.
Am I in the wrong here?
Oh, absolutely, but it's really funny.
So it's not
Poor
that
guy,
bad.
he's like, his barber's retired. He's like, I haven't been to a new barber in 20 years. I'm going to go to a new place. I'll just double check it's the right guy. And then you try and sell him an afro.
This one I'm sure might be a spam though.
All right. Read out their character name like it's a script so we know.
Look, I'm not going to read out the spam. I just want you to look at the number and tell me whether you think that's a spam number.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
The other one, retrospectively, I looked at the number, it definitely might be a real person.
Yeah.
This one, here we go.
Just so that people understand what we just looked at, it doesn't start with what a normal landline or mobile in
it's something
Australia would
random.
start like.
No.
Yeah.
This one says, George, are you free tomorrow afternoon? Let's play golf together.
Wait, were you George the last time? Oh, James.
I was James.
James. Are you
This
free?
man's calling me George.
Are you free?
I said, why, yes, Jennifer. It would be my honor. We shall meet
Jennifer.
at Steve Peters' windmill on Old Way.
I wonder what is going through their mind when they read this. What did Jennifer say?
I'm sorry I got the wrong number. I hope I'm not disturbing you. Exclamate.
That's
emoji,
the same ending as the other person.
That's why I'm suspicious.
This is getting sus.
I said, we met at the bowling club, right? You ripped an absolute ripper of a stinker and we laughed and got drunk, right? I said,
a ripper of a stinker.
They had to send another laughing emoji. And they said, have you seen me? They sent a quizzical emoji doing this.
They
said,
be a
at
bot.
which club?
It can't be a bot.
I said, the one near the station, obviously.
Of course.
Tried to back up.
You know, it wouldn't be. You wouldn't go to a club
They said,
far away.
I haven't been there.
You wouldn't go to a club far away from a station, would you? No.
They said, I haven't been there. I said,
you don't know where it is.
You didn't specify which station either.
This is a legitimate, like, it may be a spam, but it's a legitimate person.
Maybe.
It's not a bot. The bot's getting intimate.
They said, I haven't been there. Maybe there's a beautiful woman just like me, lol, emoji.
Maybe this is what I do with my pastimes. This is actually me.
Are you sure?
I just try and fish people.
They said, yes, I'm Anna.
What?
I'm Anna.
They said they're Anna?
Yeah, like Anna from before.
Earlier they said they were Jennifer.
I said I called them
you
Jennifer.
just assumed her name was Jennifer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anna.
Wait, how sure?
This is interlinked.
This is what I mean. I don't know because they all use like these like...
But the phone number's really
here's
different.
The thing, though. I know that.
Yeah.
They all use these generic profile pics that they didn't delete. Since.
Yeah.
That's why I'm suspicious.
And
you don't see
they
them
are
here.
basic white people names as well. Like, if I have to make a fake name, like George, James, their names we've literally used this episode.
We're not done. So, yeah, she said, I'm Anna and you. I said, wait, how sure are you? Because this is the number you gave me. I have it written on my sticky notes.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad it's on a sticky notes.
They said, I don't remember. What's your name? I said, it's Georgie,
It's George.
baby. You already know.
Yeah.
You were eating truckloads of Skittles like you told me the other night.
Oh, my goodness.
They said, I don't remember. I said, what the hell you mean you don't remember? That night was important to me. I told you secrets I would never tell anyone.
Can I say, how have they, like, the fact
Why
that
are they still responding?
continued is blowing my mind.
They are then asked, where do you live? Which sounds pretty sus.
Oh, no, it's just a common courtesy question.
Did you want to come over? I'd have to clean. Give me a day and I could get something together.
And are they
never
coming
responded
over?
back.
If someone knocks on the door, do I let them in tomorrow?
No, I don't know about that one.
You gave them our coordinates, yeah?
Yeah, of course I did.
Neg 35.08.
This one happened. This one happened 2 weeks ago. This is the most recent one.
Yep.
And you can see the photo You can see the photo and you can see the number. The number looks like a real one, actually.
Okay, so the photo is a generic person photo and the number looks like an Australian mobile phone number.
It just seems weird. But I guess we're just going to assume that these are real people. They just don't feel like real people.
I think they're real people doing...
No way they're going to be real people. I think
the first guy legitimately was looking for a barber.
But these other two, they're weird.
That's wrong. What's this one? One?
Hi, Allan. It's me, Nong. Blank name, sorry. This is my new number. Do you have your itinerary for this weekend? I said, sorry, never received it. Do you have another copy?
Yeah, of course. Did they send you a PDF? Please tell me they sent you a PDF.
They said, oh, sorry, check the number just now. I entered it wrong. I'm sorry, I hope you didn't mind. I said, blank, we have known each other for 3 years. What do you mean? Oh, really? Where did we first met? At the expo, of course.
At the expo?
Okay,
That's
you're not Allan. Sorry
people.
for sending the wrong message. I said, I'm sorry, I thought you might be spam. Hope Allan gets his itinerary.
Do you reckon Allan ever got his itinerary? Do you reckon he got it?
Then she responded to my direct message and said, hope Allan gets her itinerary. She said, yes, thanks.
Yes, good. I really hope Allan got his itinerary.
I think I'm a bit of... I accept the fact I was a bit of cheeky.
You know, I'm actually surprised how realistic these people sound.
Yeah, I don't know,
That's why I think you might be an asshole, because I feel like these... I don't know... What? Because they didn't push you. They didn't try. If anything, you were the one like continuing the conversation for them.
Yes,
that's
but
strange.
I don't seem weird.
No, it definitely is odd. The very generic names are what's freaking me out. And the fact that Anna featured in both of the two. That's also
suspicious.
But if you had to deem yourself hero or
hero,
asshole,
of course.
I know it's not as good as being in the sun, but that was episode 41 of the Comedians.
I did it.
Episode 41.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, that's not fair, because people might be listening to this while they're walking.
That's true.
And they'd be in the sun.
Yeah, but it's not as good as being in the sun without listening to the Comedians. Nice, peaceful. You don't have to worry about the two guys.
It's actually true to Comedians is best listened to in the shade anyway.
It is best listened to in the shade.
In the shade on a deck chair.
Your day better.
Yes.
That's right. When you wish there was a little bit more sun, you listen to episode 41, the first episode on the other side of the 1 year anniversary. And what a ripper of an episode. I came out of story retirement with 2 stories.
Double story retirement.
I've been segment man for the last couple of months.
Segment man.
Story.
I also had some stories too.
You did. You went to the doctor.
I went to the doctor.
And you didn't pay money for a dodgy medical certificate. And I paid money for a dodgy Daffodil certificate. But I got to meet Doug.
Oh, and isn't Doug the savior of this episode?
Doug is the absolute savior of the episode. That was it. That's all 4 of them.
We ended off there, obviously, with a little story about me being an absolute legend, I think.
And this is a true example of me having no short-term memory.
I'm going to be honest, guaranteed you, King Mike is going to be mad at me.
Do you reckon?
King Mike, you'll listen to this.
He works in IT. Do you reckon he's a scammer himself?
Kid, don't be mad, man. I get bored and I get annoyed.
Do you know how there's always the Nigerian princes and stuff?
Right.
Do you reckon he's the Nigerian King Mike? But no, it's been an absolute ripper of an episode. We're getting better and better, Josh. Absolutely astronomical scenes. We appreciate everyone who's stuck around into the new year of the Comedians.
Like us on all the socials.
Do that.
We'll post
Give
something
your grandma a fist pump.
Yeah.
Goodbye.